You have to be delusional to make your dreams come true. See, when you think about your dream life, it should never be a hypothetical or a maybe. It's an absolute. It's something that will happen. And nobody portrays this better than everyone's favorite controversial rapper, fashion icon, and ex-presidential candidate, Kanye West. See, Kanye is notorious for his problematic takes and bipolar, egotistical outbursts, but there's something we can all learn from him: his unshakable confidence.
Because I think right now, if I was to quit rapping and I said I want to go to the NBA, I would be in the NBA.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would.
Why would you think you could make it to the NBA?
Because I think I could do anything.
Kanye never needed proof that anything was possible. In his interview with Charlie Rose, Kanye mentions that if he wanted to make it to the NBA, he would. And Charlie repeatedly tells him no, it wasn't possible. But even in this face-to-face confrontation, Kanye stands his ground. See, he made his mind up. If he wanted to, he would, and he wasn't going to let anyone else tell him otherwise. And to Charlie, and even most of us, this belief is delusional. He didn't have the right build for it, he doesn't have the right experience for it, and there was no objective evidence that he could make it if he wanted to. But here's the thing, that's what's necessary. When your dreams are so big that it scares the people around you, people will call you crazy for believing in them. But if you don't believe in yourself, why do you expect anyone else to?
My talent is the ability to learn. If I could play you the tracks that I had when I was, in 7th grade and compare that to a Jesus Walks, All Falls Down, Stand Up, Overnight Celebrity. Hold on, I'm not finished. I'm going to name everything that's nominated for a Grammy.
Okay, go ahead.
Kanye goes on to defend his statement, saying that his natural talent is his ability to learn. And if you compared his music to when he first started to his music now, which were Grammy nominees, you'd see the drastic improvement. And he uses this when telling his example of putting up a free throw. If he misses and bricks the first one, imagine what he could do a year later or 5 years later. See, Kanye knows that if he puts his mind to it, he can achieve whatever he wants to.
I always felt like I could do anything. That's the main thing people are controlled by. Thoughts, their perception of themselves. They're slowed down by their perception of themselves. If you're taught you can't do anything, you won't do anything. I was taught I could do everything. And I'm Kanye West at age 36.
We often tend to be the reasons we hold ourselves back. Philosopher William James, in an essay titled The Will to Believe, actually touches on this very subject. We may logically, legitimately, and inexpungably believe what we desire. The belief creates its verification. See, the belief creates its verification, meaning that whatever we believe in our minds becomes our reality. If we believe we cannot do something, then we simply cannot. And if we want to achieve something, we can't do so unsure of whether or not we'll actually make it, because doubt is the seed for failure.
But you're not going to bully me. You're not going to stop me because my mother made me believe in myself. No matter how many people tell me, stop believing in yourself. Stop saying what you can do. Stop affirming what you're going to do and then completing that in real life.
Kanye's mom, Dr. Donda West, is a big reason that Kanye has the self-confidence and ego that he has today. His mom was his biggest fan, always telling him which raps of his that she liked and singing along with him whenever she felt like it. See, just having one real, genuine supporter allowed him to develop his mindset and carry it on even through the harshness of the world that he faced later on.
Got a lot of confidence. Come out a little arrogant even though you're humble and everything. But it'd be important to remember that the giant looks in the mirror and sees nothing.
His mom also reminded him to keep himself grounded, saying that the giant looks in the mirror and sees nothing. Meaning that although he has to shine bright if he wants to be a star, he should reel in his arrogance and keep himself humble to stay true to his roots.
I looked at this accident as God saying, I'm about to hand you the world, because I had a lot of good records, slow jams, Jesus Walks, already in the pipeline. So he's like, I'm about to hand you the world. Just know at any given time I can take it away from you.
But on October 23, 2002, right after signing his deal with Rockefeller Records, Kanye's life flashed before his eyes.
When I had my accident, I found out at that moment, nothing in life is promised except death. If you had the opportunity to play this game of life, You need to appreciate every moment. A lot of people don't appreciate their moment until it's past.
Leaving his jaw shattered in 3 different places. This is a dire scare to anyone in his profession. Losing his voice meant losing his entire career. His mouth was wired shut, and he was bedridden for weeks. But Kanye did something interesting. Rather than complain about the situation, he went to the studio and recorded one of his most successful songs to this day, ironically titled Through the Wire. It seemed as though Kanye had this supernatural ability to turn any bad situation good.
I take, things that people look at as a negative as an inspiration to do something better.
This superpower was important when Kanye first started his venture into the fashion industry. See, when Kanye wanted to start his clothing and shoe line, he was met with a massive amount of criticism, many telling him that he could never do it. But as we all know, that was never going to stop Kanye. Once he had his first showing of his collection, he had 1 or 2 editors come. He went to his assistant asking how many more of them were coming. When she shyly hid away and told him none, he smiled, looked at her, and told her to cherish this moment. Remember the moment that no one came, because soon enough, everyone will want to be in here. His optimistic perspective is not only refreshing, but it's necessary to have the self-esteem and confidence to pull things like this off.
I decided to start doing music, and people said it wouldn't work out, and then I started producing and selling beats, and I started selling beats to Jay-Z, Rockefeller, and that started going well, and I said I wanted to rap, and people said that wasn't gonna work. They had this term, producer rapper.
In his interview with Jimmy Kimmel, Kanye talks about how he was constantly put into boxes every time he tried something new. But he consistently proved these doubters wrong and exceeded everyone's expectations. In fact, this proves Jean-Paul Sartre's philosophy on bad faith in full effect. Jean-Paul Sartre was a French philosopher, playwright, and novelist born in 1905. He's considered the father of existentialism and was one of the most influential thinkers of the 20th century. According to Jean-Paul Sartre, to behave in bad faith is to act as if you are not free to make your own choices. But by sticking with safe, easy, default choices, you become like an object in a world. Only by making difficult choices can you realize your full potential as a human being. We often put ourselves in boxes with the belief that we are tied down to one certain avenue of life due to one thing or another, whether that be circumstance, society, or physical ability. But Sartre argues for the radical freedom of human beings. For us, existence precedes essence. We are free to create our own meaning and identity through our choices. In other words, our life is what we make it. We only pin ourselves down to one thing due to bad faith. We can do anything we want if we put our mind to it. And when we come to this realization, it can become daunting, especially if we don't want to be doing what we're doing. But we should view this as freeing, because we truly are the authors of our own lives, which is where this confidence that your beliefs will become your reality comes from.
They don't even realize that when they box me in or try to verbally put me in some type of box or put Donda in a box, that they're really showing their level of ignorance. They're putting themselves in a box.
That fear of taking risks is surreal, especially when you have everyone around you telling you how bad of an idea it is. But these risks are necessary stepping stones to get to where we want to be. Kanye labels the people that put down anyone stepping out of their comfort zone and chasing after their dreams as people who don't even try. Because as someone with ambition, you know how embarrassing it is to put someone down trying to chase after what they want. See, you are going to stumble and fall upon the way. You will fail. But you have to have surefire faith that what you want to happen will come to fruition. Be a doer, be a role model. Because just the fact that you're willing to fail makes you inspirational.
Go listen to all my music. It's the codes of self-esteem. It's the codes of who you are. If you're a Kanye West fan, you're not a fan of me, you're a fan of yourself.
One of my favorite quotes from Kanye is that if you're a fan of Kanye West, you're a fan of yourself. And it shows that his mission was never to boast to the world just how big his ego and his confidence was, but to spread his confidence and instill it within others who listen to him, making them have a chance, making them believe they have the self-confidence necessary to achieve what they never thought was possible. So is there any scientific evidence to prove that Kanye's confidence helps him achieve his goals? In a paper by Shelley Taylor titled Positive Illusions, Shelley finds that mentally healthy and high-functioning individuals consistently see themselves better than they actually are, meaning that to be successful, your belief in your abilities has to exceed your actual skill level. But what's even more interesting is that she found that people with clinical depression were found to have more accurate assessments of their skill levels. Meaning if you're too much of a realist about yourself and your abilities and don't boost yourself up, you're opening the door to a depressive state. And who wants that? She also found that people who were overconfident in their abilities actually had higher social status than those who didn't. Meaning your confidence in yourself, even if blind, makes those around you like you more. Your audience is a byproduct of your confidence.
Well, I'm gonna be king of the pirates!
If there's someone who has no shortage of confidence and self-esteem, it's One Piece's very own Luffy. Luffy is often written off as some dumb shonen main character, but many fail to see what makes him so special. His confidence and unwavering self-belief that he will become king of the pirates is infectious. Even in the face of many laughing at him and telling him he's crazy for believing it, he still says it as if it's fact. And many chalk it up to just him being stupid, but it's more than that.
Luffy is the man who become king of the pirates!
Luffy won't lose, cause he's gonna be king of the pirates!
He's going to be king of the pirates someday! Because he's gonna be king of the pirates.
He believes with every fiber of his being that he will become king of the pirates. And this belief is infectious that even we as the viewers know it will happen. And this belief spreads to even his crewmates. They say that he will become king of the pirates with such conviction that they don't doubt it for a second. And it shows that having this self-confidence about yourself spreads it to others. So really, having belief that you will make it and having the self-confidence that you need is believing in those around you.
Blueprint 5 mics, go get his rhyme like should have been signed twice. Most imitated, Grammy nominated, hotel accommodated, cheerleader prom dated, barbershop player hated, mom and pop bootlegged it. Felt like it rained till the roof caved in. But 2 words, Chi-Town raised me crazy. So I live by 2 words, fuck you, pay me.
When I make these videos, I pick topics that I myself relate to. And as someone who's a longtime fan of Kanye and struggles with their own self-confidence, it drove me to study his mindset and see what I can take from it. So if there's anything that I hope you can take away from this video, it's to go do. Do so delusionally that it scares everyone around you. Because here's the thing about being called delusional. It means that your dreams are too big for someone else's imagination. So that's not a warning, that's a sign that you're on the right track. So go do, delusionally.